On January 13, 1999, 18-year-old Hyman Lee finished her school day at Woodlawn High School in Baltimore just like any other Wednesday. She attended her classes, she laughed with friends, she talked about normal teenage things, school, plans, and her future. Nothing about that day suggested it would be her last. Hyman Lee was known as kind, responsible, and full of life. She was a senior, excited about graduation. She had dreams of college. She worked part-time. She cared deeply about her family, especially her younger brother. That afternoon, she had one responsibility she never ignored. She had to pick up her little cousin from daycare. It was something she always did. Always. But that day, she never arrived. At first, no one panicked. Friends assumed she got busy. Maybe she had somewhere else to go. Maybe she forgot to tell someone her plans. But as the hours passed, concern turned into fear. Her family called her phone. No answer. They called her friends. No one had seen her. Her car was gone. And Hyman Lee had completely disappeared. Police were notified, but at first, they treated it like a missing persons case involving a teenager. They believed she might have left voluntarily. But her family knew better. Hy would never abandon her responsibilities. She would never leave her cousin waiting. She would never disappear without telling anyone. Days passed, then weeks. There was still no sign of her, until nearly a month later. On February 9, 1999, a man walking through Leakin Park made a horrifying discovery. Partially buried in a shallow grave was the body of a young woman. It was Hyman Lee. She had been strangled. Someone had taken her life and hidden her in the woods, hoping she would never be found. The quiet community was shaken. Parents became afraid. Students whispered in hallways. Everyone wondered the same thing. Who could have done this? Police began retracing her final day. They interviewed friends, classmates, teachers. One name kept coming up again and again. Her ex-boyfriend, Adnan Said. They had dated for some time, but their relationship had ended weeks before her disappearance. Friends described the breakup as difficult, but not violent. Still, investigators focused on him. Then, a shocking development. One of Adnan's acquaintances, Jay Wilds, told police he knew what happened. He claimed Adnan had confessed to killing Hy. He said Adnan showed him her body in the trunk of her car. He said he helped bury her in Leakin Park. It was a story that would change everything. Adnan Said was arrested and charged with murder. The case quickly went to trial. Prosecutors argued it was a crime driven by jealousy. They claimed Adnan could not accept the breakup. They presented Jay's testimony as the key piece of evidence. Adnan maintained his innocence. He said he had nothing to do with her death. He said he loved her. He said he would never hurt her. But in 2000, the jury found him guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison. And just like that, the case was closed. Or so everyone thought. But before we continue, take a moment to subscribe to this channel now. Because stories like this are not just crime stories. They are real lives. Real mysteries. And sometimes the truth is far more complicated than it first appears. Years passed. Adnan remained in prison. The world moved on. But in 2014, everything changed. A podcast called Serial revisited the case. Millions of listeners heard the story. And for the first time, people began questioning the investigation. They questioned the timeline. They questioned the evidence. They questioned whether the right person had been convicted. The case exploded into national attention again. Legal teams re-examined everything. Witness statements, phone records, police procedures. In 2022, after spending more than 20 years behind bars, Adnan Said's conviction was overturned. A judge ruled that key evidence had not been properly disclosed. He walked out of prison a free man. For some, it was justice. For others, it was heartbreak all over again. Because one truth remained unchanged. Hyman Lee was still gone. Her family had lost a daughter, a sister, a future that would never happen. And the question that haunted everyone from the beginning still lingered. What really happened to Hyman Lee on January 13, 1999? Was the right person arrested? Was the real killer ever found? Or is the truth still out there, waiting to be discovered. This case remains one of the most debated and mysterious murder cases in United States history, not just because of the crime itself, but because of the uncertainty, because of the unanswered questions, because of the life that was stolen far too soon. Subscribe to this channel now for more true crime stories that reveal the dark truths behind real cases, because sometimes the most disturbing mysteries are the ones that remain unsolved.